Our ancestors passed down knowledge through generations via stories shared and spoken. In this way, nature's wisdom was never lost nor forgotten. But who are the storytellers now? In their hands, this got conflated. Ancient knowledge muffled and confiscated. Nature somehow no longer consecrated. Its butchery via scientism now venerated. Corporations have taken over and it's now economics over ecology dominated. Money, wants, and greed are celebrated while all of life's simplest and truest meanings seem lost, desecrated. Now it's whatever they want dictated, public opinion to their ends created. News telling is not only exaggerated, it also comes fully orchestrated, fabricated. Don't think so? They even covered it to make their dirty ways legitimated. Propaganda domestically legalized. That's right, legitimized. Check the links below. Even the Wiki can't smudge the purposes and intentions of the 2012 Smith-Mundt Act. Given legitimacy to shape public perception via use of propaganda against the population, along with the use of psychological operations, all written up post 9/11 in the US Constitution. Do we have clarity on the implications? Imagine even passing such a law, surely indicative of what they have in store. To think this act would be for the people's benefit, then one's thinking is a little absurd, though it would be sold as that, logic and reasoning all blurred. They've got their cover all sins catchword. In the interest of national security, listen up, be made immediately suspicious whenever one hears this as foreword. That's another free looking glass into their theatre of the absurd. In later chapter, we'll more fully cover false flags and their applications. In short, for now, however, they are engineered fabrications used for psychological operations. False evidence appearing real. That, by the way, is an acronym, spells fear. And that is their very idea. Fear being a psychological spell, and one essential to the racketeer. And if they get caught at it, they've got their legal fallback. It was done in the interest of, no, not you, national security. So please, bearing all of this in mind, just because one saw it doesn't mean then that it occurred, at least not naturally or organically. We have to know that the line between real and simulation can be both deliberately orchestrated and blurred. Conversely, vital intel simply omitted from record. Didn't see it? Then it didn't happen. This is how it works. Control by media admission as well as by omission. Ultimately, it's the control of public perception via legalized use of deception. And it's far too easily achieved when one has all the means to all the dissemination. But I saw it, I read it, I heard it on the news. This is not what we can call having one's own views. The news is there to keep us confused, in a perpetual state of tension. Note just how all the good stuff hardly gets a mention. If we want to get back a hold of our own conceptions rather than be swayed by all manner of manipulations, then we've got to change the frequency, take control of our own receptions, turn our frequencies up and switch all theirs off. Their frequency is weaponized. It's low vibrational, and so too are the lies. It works to control the subconscious mind. Celebrities are used to have us bind to ideas and programmed beliefs. The ones playing ball get signed, and for selling out, they get primed. Their songs on radio may carry motifs. And if one digs video deep, one might find a hidden darker side embedded in carefully chosen symbols and signs. Tricks and habits and beliefs revealed of the deep state's mentality of mind. Their attempts to keep all of humankind from realizing our connectivity and how all is majestically and divinely intertwined, and instead be there to their mythology be blind, and to their control unwittingly resigned. So start with turning off their goddamn flicker box, TV, television, their tool for mass hypnosis, keeping minds imprisoned while imposing beliefs. Program. If at this fact one protests, then one's failed a litmus test, and instead by default silently attests to being one of the ones most possessed. Turn it off! And believe me, a mind less taken hostage will be the ultimate life-enhancing payoff. And let us not forget just how smart TV got. No longer just you watching it, it's now watching you. Big brother, big in the room. And no, he wasn't enforced. He was bought hard and paid for. Yet this added feature, the window looking in, didn't quite make the advert. Did it, Alexa? Their screen is a smokescreen. It's not even news, it's just corporate views. They own it, they bought it, sloppily backhander regulated. Ownership this way got concentrated, became corporation dominated. Take the US. Over 700 media outlets down to 6 incorporated. Every type of media branch under them all consolidated. In the UK, 2 people take a media dominantly inflated, with over 50% of all newspaper readers to these 2 allocated. As opinion shifters and shapers, they narrow then what's debated. Their ability and power to set the narrative becomes largely unmitigated. Anything from part creation to full fabrication has become the own fate of media corporate conglomerates, who, just like the tech giants, are all far too closely affiliated. No need to wonder then why it's always economic interest to prevail. Protecting the economy trumps over the people every time without fail. Offshoring for cheaper labour, while domestically jobs lost wholesale. But newspaper blame it on the foreigners. No one will question the details. They care not a pretty penny if it increases their economies of scale, but they'll media sell a tightening of the purse strings as one's duty for sale. The result of their forced austerity measures, all public spending curtailed. No money tree to fund them, and our national-owned assets now up for private sale. Front of stage, back of stage, they scoot them up cheap, tripling their prosperity wholesale. It's a ruse, it's a con. Litter us with deceptive language to cover up all the dodginess done. No, fuck your trickle-down effect. And don't think we all miss out on the detail. We jollied all the way to the Cayman Isles following your dirty money trail. News of that didn't stay long getting coverage in the Daily Mail. And BBC, where were you when you should have been hot on the paedophilage trail? And to think you could have had the scoop, what with your front row and your inside seats? And the swindle on the public is nothing short of full scale, yet they pull it off with their well-greased media machine, reframing their nefarious activities to us wholesale. Philanthropy, please. Sociopathic psychos. Serving up their own interests, advertising their own concerns, covering up their crimes, dividing us the people up, keeping us all wanting and all in line. Faking their news, having us to believe what is right, what is wrong, what to buy, who to hate, how to vote, who did it, who didn't, and in what room and with what tool. External mastered in the newsroom, wielding the print and ink and their pre-scripted auto cue, read by willing puppets with big pay hush packets. They call them TV anchors, we could call them a racket. That concludes part 2 of media manipulations via the who's who of its ownership. In part 3, we'll take a closer look still at some of the media's methodologies for control. This 3-part essay ultimately leading us to the masterminding theory and moreover common use practice of problem, reaction, solution, and the role of false flags within this dialectic for mass-scale social engineering, now being utilized on the global scale. Stay tuned, share, and subscribe.